What's up, guys? Before we get started, I want to let you guys know that I will be doing a review on my first impressions on the manga Claymore very soon. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. It's completely free, and you'll get that video soon enough when it's released. But this video will be on Cowboy Bebop, and so basically I've got up until the end of episode 13 on Cowboy Bebop, and I'm currently in the middle of 14. So this is going to be my sort of second impressions of Cowboy Bebop. I did a video on it when I first started out, after I got into the first several episodes of Cowboy Bebop, and this is sort of my midpoint slash almost done point video. I think it's a cool video. I did this with Hunter x Hunter when I was going through it. It was sort of the whole idea where, yes, I have already, like, this anime slash manga is already done, it's been released, but if you want to experience me experience it for the first time, here's the video for you. Anyhow, so I do it in chunks. I may not do another one until I finish the entire series. So I was recommending this series. Apparently it's very famous in certain ways. A lot of people know about it, and apparently it's some sort of staple. It was made in the early 90s slash late 80s, so it's very old and yet a classic. I'm sort of curious as to why though, but apparently it's some people's favorite anime, despite so many more recent anime. So it makes me very curious as to why. And so I'm going to throw out the spoiler alert warning for what I've seen so far, first and final. So first off, it's a very simple theme, most of the episodes at least, especially the first few. I think it was set up to be some sort of recurring standard TV show sort of series where everything starts off the same, and no matter what happens in the middle, it ends the same. Somewhat like many TV sitcoms and cartoons and TV shows, such as Family Guy, The Simpsons, The Big Bang Theory, and so forth, where at the end of the day, no matter what happens in the middle, whether Lois dies in Family Guy or whatever, it always ends the same, and if it doesn't, the next episode still starts off the same. So you see this a lot in a lot of animes, a lot of TV shows, and I always never got, like, I kind of got it, but I kind of hated it. Sometimes, like, there's some TV shows where, like, at the end of it, things would go haywire, and you're like, I wonder what's going to happen in the next one, and they just decided, no, let's just start it back up. So they're all back in, like, where they were initially, like Family Guy. They're, the whole, Peter, Stewie, and everyone are just, back at the house, just like The Simpsons. So I guess the best example of this in Cowboy Bebop would be probably when they had that, like, infestation because Spike forgot to take out that lobster in the refrigerator. So it's kind of disgusting what happened and unrealistic, but it sort of merged into some sort of strange, disgusting mutant thing that is really fast and can infect people. And so I was like, whoa, what's going to happen? And lo and behold, it was just a temporary infection, or at least that's what's implied, because next episode they're back to normal. And a lot of these episodes seem to be very short, 20-minute mini adventures, and they're definitely made like that. However, it's very peculiar because at the same time that's starting to change, and it's changing more and more now, especially with episode 13, where it's very strange. All this very strange stuff happened, which darkened the plot, made it more deep, more complicated. I think it's only happened like 3 big times so far. It happened once when Spike visited Vicious for the first time from the viewer's perspective, and then you see all these weird flashbacks, him falling out of, breaking out of the glass wall, chandelier wall, and falling backwards slowly, and all these strange flashbacks. And then the second time was another big fiasco, and then the third time was when they got that she-male who plays the saxophone, and then they're fighting Vicious and so forth. So the plot's gotten deeper. There's a lot of like strange characters. We don't know what's going on, and here's the thing though, like, it's kind of like, okay, like, what is going on? Because in order for the author to implant these flashbacks so early on, like, he should have, it's almost like he thought up a lot of it beforehand. Like, by the 7th episode, he already placed this sort of thing. It didn't have to be finished, but he's like, okay, I'm gonna place these strange flashbacks here, and I'll make up the rest as I go. And he does this like every 5 or 6 episodes, and then for those 5 or 6 episodes in between, he just makes those standard mini adventures. So in my opinion, the mini adventures, where they capture some bounty or so forth, or they conquer some villain, I think it's simple. It's just a very simple episode, and I personally don't like them. Not because they're not great. Well, technically yes, because they are not great. They're not horrible, but they're not great in any way. They're just standard things like that. And I guarantee you, if I try to get my little sisters, who are usually very open to anything I show them, if I got them to watch Cowboy Bebop for those few episodes, they would be bored out of their minds. So those don't really play into it. However, I'm pretty sure, based on the hints and implications from people I talk to, that the quality of Cowboy Bebop must come from these, strange flashbacks that all tie together. And so we still don't know what's going on. Vicious did some weird stuff, betrayed some people. Now he's some sort of drug dealer. He interacts with these like ringleaders, and Spike has something with this girl, and something went wrong, and the girl is sad and doesn't ever want to see him again, and they're all doing business, they're all working it out, and I thought it was going somewhere, and then episode 14 hits, and they're back where they started, chasing bounties. So I feel like this is going to go on. I feel like this series was intended, in my opinion, to go on forever, like one of those TV series, those reoccurring TV series. And I think the author was intending to, throw in those deep flashback moments to thicken the plot. But for whatever reason, he had to cut it short and end it and wrap up the whole thing. And that's just my opinion based on the types of episodes I've watched. These episodes are definitely constructed, in my opinion, to be those episodes where it's like, you start and then you finish, and everything's back to normal when you finish. It's a very simple storyline. They're space bounty hunters, like cowboys, and then they're tracking down people, and the adventures are fairly simple. But I do like the fact that they're gaining characters. I think that's going to be the core though. The two main guys, Spike and the metal guy, and then the dog, the kid, and the girl. Those are the core characters, and then Vicious is always this mysterious person. So we'll see what happens. And I gotta say, I don't know. It always goes back to that main thing, and I'm happy to say that some anime aren't like that. Like DBZ constantly continues on, and it keeps, retaining what it has, but adding on to it. Like One Piece or Naruto, it never just, it's not like that. We're all back where we started after every chapter, sort of thing. I think Fairy Tail is kind of like that in certain ways. But we'll see what happens, and leave your comments below on your opinion. And no spoilers, As always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.